This is a stimulus and Social Security update. Got some important update to share with you. New $480 checks could be going out in a newly proposed relief plan. When it comes to Social Security cuts, the drama keeps on building. It turns out President Biden once said he wanted to cut Social Security, but to be fair, it was before he was president. You'll hear that clip, as well as what the Republicans plan on actually doing when it comes to Social Security, whether they are going to cut it or not.
Now, was that true or is that a lie?
I'll give you that clip and news, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily, straight-to-the-point updates on matters that financially matter to you. So, taking a toll, Americans to get $480 worth of direct payments as $2 billion tax relief plan is announced. See if you qualify. So in December, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida signed a bill into law that will provide more than 1 million drivers with a toll credit. So basically, that's what this is about. If you live in Florida, eligible residents in the state, a 50% credit to their account each month, according to the law. The direct cash is expected to be worth more than $480 on average through 2023. So if you live in Florida and you drive, looks like you could get an average of $480 for the year with this new relief plan that hasn't passed yet. Is just a proposal. When it comes to Social Security cuts, the drama just keeps going from he said this, she said that, back and forth, lying, hypocrites, a lot of names being thrown out. So Joe Biden attacks Republican dream to slash Medicare Social Security. So not sure if it's a dream of Republicans to cut Social Security and Medicare, but it seems to be the Democratic narrative that Republicans are trying to take away the benefits from elders, SSI, seniors, Social Security recipients in general. Personally, I'm an independent, so not taking a side here, but I like to see the truth and I like to see both sides of what's being said. I don't think Republicans are going to cut the benefits. If you're getting benefits right now from Social Security and Medicare, I don't think that is going to be cut, and I don't think that's the intention of Republicans. But to be fair, some Republicans have said that they wanted to make changes to these programs, but not necessarily cut it. So Senator Rick Scott rebuts Biden's accusations on Medicare and Social Security. So shots were fired at the State of the Union speech well before then, but that was a big one, where President Biden said that Republicans wanted to sunset it. Got a big reaction from Republicans, calling him a liar, yelling during his State of the Union speech. And Rick Scott saying, no, that's not true. Although Rick Scott has said some comments where he wants to make big changes to Social Security, which you'll hear in a moment. Mitch McConnell distances GOP from Rick Scott as Biden steps up Social Security Medicare attacks on GOP. So when there's video footage of it, which I shared in yesterday's video, if you haven't checked it out, you got to take a look at that. I show all the Republican clips of them saying how they wanted to cut Social Security or make changes to Social Security, something like that. So Rick Scott is one of those Republicans who did say that. He actually did say it. So he didn't really say the word Social Security cut, but more or less implying that he was going to make a big change to Social Security so that it would be less, however you want to take that. So Senator Mitch McConnell says Social Security and Medicare are not to be touched. But I'm going to play you a video clip in a moment. Rick Scott still saying that there is a plan to change Social Security. So Biden wants, all right, so now since Rick Scott was called out, Rick Scott pulls up a clip from 28 years ago where President Biden did say more or less that he wanted to sunset Social Security, which not necessarily means cut the benefits, but just see if it's worth keeping. So President Biden did say that as a senator, but to be fair, 28 years ago, is that a fair argument? Is it still fair to call him a hypocrite from 1995? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Take a look at this video clip right here. Let me know your thoughts.
Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority.
Well, Some reaction there, doubling down on that debunked claim that Republicans want to end your Medicare and Social Security. President calling out my next guest by name yesterday when he was on the road in Wisconsin. That man is Florida Senator Rick Scott. And sir, good morning to you. Thank you for joining our program today. You've been in the middle of this from the very beginning. Clarify what your idea was, because it wasn't just Medicare or Social Security. You wanted to look at everything. As a businessman, that's probably where you're coming from. Go ahead.
I did it as governor. You do it in business all the time. You go back and look. If you did something, you say, okay, did it work? So I said in my plan I put out, you can go to rescueamerica.com. I said, look, let's look at every program every 5 years. There's a lot of programs that we shouldn't be doing up here. And then if it's worth keeping, we keep it. You know, we do this with the defense budget every year. We don't pass a 20-year defense budget. Every year we do it. And we do it every year. We pass the National Defense Authorization Act. I also said we ought to tell the American public how we're going to preserve Medicare and Social Security. But here's how Biden's a hypocrite. He wants to say Republicans want to cut Medicare and Social Security. I never will do that. I'm not going to cut their benefits. But guess what? Joe Biden proposed it. He proposed a bill when he was in the Senate to sunset everything. And I don't know if you've seen the quote. He says, when I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. Mm-hmm. That's what Joe Biden said.
Right. Yeah, no, let me get to that in a moment. That was 28 years ago, and we got something that'll remind you of that. But what he also said on Tuesday night, anyone who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. Now, was that true or is that a lie?
I hope he gives everybody a copy, but you can do it online. You go to rescueamerica.com. You can look at it. I put out my ideas. I think everybody ought to. I want to make sure we balance this budget and we preserve Medicare and Social Security. If we keep going down the path we're going down, where we run in $2 trillion deficits, there's no federal program that we're going to be able to preserve. And I want to preserve all the safety nets that our American citizens care about.
I get it. The other day you tweeted he rambled for a while. He was confused. But I'm asking you whether or not he was telling the truth. Was he? Was it a partial truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie. The guy's been lying, the whole time. And I've called him a liar. He's coming to Florida. I'll be in Florida tonight. I put an ad up saying, not only did this guy lie, he actually didn't pay his Medicare taxes on his income after he was vice president. He used a loophole to not even pay his Medicare taxes. This guy's a complete hypocrite.
Okay, you talked about 1995. I believe that was your reference. Here was the clip from back then, Senator Biden.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
That kind of sounds like what
a
you're
hypocrite.
Asking for now.
Yeah, what a hypocrite. Here's a guy, maybe he doesn't even remember what he said before, but he had a bill to sunset everything. And he tried. He tried for years to do it. And then he wants to accuse Republicans. I don't know one Republican that wants to reduce Social Security or Medicare benefits. We want to preserve them. And that's why we've got to figure out how we get a balanced budget here. And I'm going to fight like hell to do that.
All right, so he's going to be in Florida today, your home state. Last question. How's your relationship with Senator Mitch McConnell?
I work with all the Republican senators. I work with some of the Democrat senators. I'm going to work hard to represent my state. And I tell everybody, I'm going to represent the state of Florida. That's what I got elected to do. You can vote any way you want. I'm going to vote for the citizens of Florida.
But are you guys cool with each other? Are you talking?
Well, he just kicked me off a committee. So that was pretty petty.
It's Commerce Committee. But you're on other committees, right?
I'm on Armed Services, I'm on Home Security. But think about it. I've been on the committee for 4 years. I probably ran the biggest business that anybody's ever served in the Senate. I was governor of the third biggest state in the country, third biggest economy, I think, of the country. And I got kicked off of Commerce. But I've got a relationship with Ted Cruz, who's the ranking member. I'll continue to work on all the issues I need to work on Commerce.
Okay, so I'm going to say I consider the relationship right now not cool with each other. Am I right?
I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing my job.
Okay. All right. Senator, thank you for coming on today.
So what are your thoughts on that? Does President Biden get a pass because it was 28 years ago for basically saying the same thing as Republican Representative Rick Scott, which President Biden is now criticizing for? Is there a hypocrite? Can you call President Biden a hypocrite, or is 28 years too long ago? Either way, what are your thoughts on that? When it comes to Social Security cuts, benefits being cut, Medicare being cut, we still don't know what's going on. As you heard, Representative Rick Scott mentions his program, which basically just says to analyze whether or not it's worth keeping. You're not necessarily saying cut, though. It's a game of semantics now, but let me know your thoughts on all that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that you should do. When you want to do something, you have the power to do whatever you want. Unless, one thing, you believe in yourself. That's the only trick. So that's all I wanted to tell you for today. Bye. This is the Bella.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. So got to play a little bit of pickleball yesterday, which was awesome, but probably pushed it too far because I couldn't walk last night afterwards. But it was still a great time, had a lot of fun. Girls are good. Bella did her swimming yesterday and kickboxing. Super busy week, very active, but hopefully you have a great weekend. If you want to check out any of my other videos, click right up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.